DCA Practice Test 2026 Docker Certified Associate Exam Questions and Certification Prep. Question 1. What is the main difference between add and copy in a Docker file? Add supports URLs and tar extraction. Copy is for local files. Copy is faster than add. Add is deprecated. Copy supports regex, add does not. Add has extra features like remote URL support and auto-extraction of local tars. Question 2. Which command is used to initialize a Docker swarm? Docker swarm start, Docker swarm init, Docker swarm create, Docker swarm join manager. Use Docker swarm init to start a swarm on the current node. Question 3. Which Linux kernel namespace is used to isolate process IDs? Net, mntpid, user. The PID namespace provides process isolation. Question 4. How do you configure the Docker daemon to use an insecure registry? Use secure registry equals false. Pass insecure registry to the daemon. Edit the /etc/hosts file. It is not possible. The insecure registry flag allows access to registries without valid TLS. Question 5. In Kubernetes, what happens to a container that fails its liveness probe? It is ignored. It is restarted. The whole pod is deleted. The node is rebooted. The kubelet restarts the container when a liveness probe fails. Question 6. Which Docker command lists all running containers? Docker container show, Docker ps Docker ls, Docker running. Both Docker container ls and Docker ps work. Docker ps is most common. Question 7. Docker Content Trust, DCT, uses which tool for signing images? Notary, Vault, Jenkins, Ansible. Notary is the underlying tool for DCT. Question 8. To achieve fault tolerance in a swarm, you should have how many managers? 1, 2, 3, any even number. An odd number of managers, 3, 5, etc., is required to maintain a quorum. Question 9. Which Docker file instruction specifies the default command to run in a container? Run, entry point, cmd start. CMD provides defaults for an executing container. Question 10. The Docker system prune command removes only running containers, all unused containers, networks, and images. The Docker engine, all volumes only. Prune cleans up unused data. Question 11. Which storage driver is currently recommended for most Linux distributions? AUFS, Device Mapper, Overlay 2, BTRFS. Overlay 2 is the preferred storage driver for modern Docker installs. Question 12. In a swarm, what is the ingress network used for? Internal pod communication, routing traffic to services on any node, private database traffic, manager to manager only. The routing mesh, ingress, maps published ports to services. Question 13. A Kubernetes pod is a single container only, the smallest deployable unit consisting of one or more containers, a cluster of nodes, a storage volume. Pods group containers that share storage and network. Question 14. Which command creates a new image from a container's changes? Docker create, Docker commit, Docker save, Docker build. Docker commit creates an image from a container's current state. Question 15. How can you limit a container to 512 megabytes of RAM? Docker run M512M, Docker run limit 512, Docker run RAM 512 MB, Docker run memory 512. The M or memory flag sets the limit. Question 16. Which network driver allows a container to use the host's networking stack directly? Bridge, overlay, host, none. The host driver removes network isolation. Question 17. To view the logs of a container, use Docker read logs, Docker container logs, ID, cat/var/log/docker, Docker inspect logs. Use Docker logs or Docker container logs. Question 18. A volume in Docker is managed by the host OS only, the Docker daemon, the container user, an external plugin only. Volumes are the preferred mechanism for persisting data in Docker. Question 19. Which instruction should be used to define environment variables in a Docker file? Set, var, env, define. The env instruction sets environment variables. Question 20. What is the purpose of a multi-stage build? To run multiple containers, to reduce the size of the final image, to build for different OS, to speed up the internet. Multi-stage builds allow you to exclude build dependencies from the final image.